Good morning, everyone. We are back with our coffee chat this morning, and we're going to switch things up a little bit, Catherine, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yay.
It's great.
Okay, good. I always start to talk, and I'm like, am I muted?
No, you're good.
I am super excited.
Me too. My name is Caity. For those of you who don't know me, I am from New Jersey, and I am a double diamond. I've been with the company for 2 years now. Me and Catherine put together these calls a couple weeks back, and I'm just absolutely loving this start to my week every week. So, Catherine, why don't you go ahead and just say, who you are, where you're from, and when you started.
Sure, I would love to. Yes, this is Catherine McDonald, and I'm from Allegan, Michigan, and I am a diamond with It Works. So close to double diamond, Caity.
I'm so excited.
I know, and my 2-year anniversary with It Works is in 2 weeks. So
wow.
I can't believe it's been 2 years already.
I know, and it went by so fast. That's the thing. I can't believe it either. I'm like, wow, it's going to be 2.5 years next month for me. Can't believe it.
I know, and I often think, Caity, that sometimes we look, we sign up to do something or we start to commit to something, and somebody will say, well, give it a year or give it 2 years or give it 5 years, and you think it's going to be like, oh my goodness, that really, like I have to work hard at it for that long. And it's been 2 years already. Like, I can't even believe it.
I know. It really does go by fast. And I think one of the things is it's just a lot of fun. We get to work together. And I think one of the best parts is the friendship. So me and Catherine decided that this week we wanted to kind of talk about not just stories, because you guys might be familiar with our stories by now, but we really wanted to share what sets It Works apart as far as the culture. So, Catherine, what do you think about this? Like, what do you think about the culture of It Works, and why is this different? Because you've done another company before.
I have. This is actually, I was trying to remember the other day. I think I've gotten lost in the number of companies I did. No, seriously, it hasn't been that many. Maybe this is my 4th company,
okay.
Or 5th company, but the other companies were direct sales. So that's completely different than what we have going on with It Works, with it being network marketing. But what I noticed right away is probably the biggest difference is that people who had nothing to do with the success of my business wanted to be involved in helping me be successful. And that just doesn't happen all the time. I'd never, ever been with one of these other companies and had somebody, what we would consider a sideline, somebody who is in the business also, but they're not directly related to you as far as the growth of your business. I never had somebody reach out to me or want to train me or work with me or do any of those types of things in any of those other businesses. And with It Works, it was almost instantaneously. Like, I was introduced to people, and they got my phone number, and they were wanting to know how I was doing. They wanted to be involved in it, and I was shocked by that when I joined It Works.
I agree. I think one of the things, I don't know if it's just coming from New Jersey and this area or what it was, but I remember I went down to Florida for my first green carpet event when I first started. I started in May, and I went down in July. 2 years ago, and I'll never forget people saying hi. I thought that was so weird. I would just be walking, and I was going through the event, and people were just like, hi, how are you? What's your name? Where are you from? What rank are you? When did you start? And you're just like, why are you talking to me? And I remember, I'll never forget, I was outside, and I'm like, oh, my gosh, the lady said she's a double diamond. That's crazy. I can't believe she's talking to us,
Yeah.
Because I was so used to the higher-up leaders not being approachable in other areas, and not necessarily in other companies. For me, I was in retail, and I used to be terrified. I'll never forget, we got a visit one time when I was in retail, and one of the higher-ups, like the CEO of the company or something of that nature, was like, at our store for whatever reason. There was a big corporate meeting, and they were all there. And they just stood there staring at you. They didn't want to talk to you, and they would just talk to my manager. And I remember being like, oh, no, what if I mess up? But not so with It Works. And I was so culture shocked when I got here. Don't you agree? I mean, it was just like,
oh,
why
totally.
are they so nice?
Yes. In fact, I signed up September 21st 2 years ago. And I want to say it was the following week we had a One Team, One Mission in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And just, if we have anybody on here who doesn't know what One Team, One Mission is, it's basically just a meeting opportunity. We consider it kind of a big, huge rep party. So anybody who's not a distributor or a customer with It Works could come and try one of our crazy wraps, and you get an opportunity to hear more detail about the products and maybe hear some testimonials and hear some different stories of how people have built the business. It's just a really, really great opportunity to get to know other people and to create just those good sideline relationships, I guess. But my very first One Team, One Mission I went to, I think it was about a week after I joined, and our CEO was there. Mark Pentecost came to that event, and they weren't doing like a big tour. Like, it was just one where he was in Michigan, and so he came to the event. And I knew Mark at a somewhat of a level because my dad and him did a network marketing business, the same network marketing business. They were sidelines of one another when his daughter Cammie and I were quite young. So I knew Mark. I didn't know that he would know me. But when he saw me, I got like the biggest hug, and oh my goodness, we are so excited to have you be a part of this. We just know this is going to change your family's life. And he wanted to know about my kids, and it's continued to be like that. And it's like that with everybody throughout the company. When they come into your area, and what I really love is they're not flying in big wigs like the CEO to every One Team, One Mission event so that you hear this one story and this one person being successful. They're usually at the One Team, One Mission events, it's the people in your own community who are being successful, people who you can actually reach out to and get support from and get ideas from, and they want to help you. So it's not like they have this, group of 5 people who they are like, oh, well, these will be our special speakers at the opportunity events, and so they have their script and everything. It's not like that at all. It's anybody who is beginning to see success in this company, you'll see up front. And I just love that.
I agree. And I think, I've seen as some One Team, One Mission, some product testimonials of people that are just getting started in the business, getting up on stage talking about how the products have changed their life. And they literally just started a few months ago. And I'll never forget that. That was one of the coolest things for me, was seeing somebody that was really just a couple of weeks ahead of me getting up there and talking. And, I think the culture of this company is so amazing. And one of the things that I love is most of my team is not local to me. I built my business mostly, through social media and conference calls and things like that. So for us, we are, and I'm sure it's the same with you, Catherine, it's just we are all over the place. Yep. And one of the things that I love about this philosophy of One Team, One Mission in our company is that anyone from anywhere can plug into any team. My team is taken care of by leaders in their area. And if there is no other leaders, I'm so happy because I know one lady on my team had someone who really didn't have any leaders in her area to market that really it hasn't been tapped into yet, so there's not much leadership up there yet. And she's been in a lot longer than this girl, and this girl reached out to her and was like, I need someone to go blitzing with, and she took her in, and she comes to our meetings and things just because that's what we do. And I thought that was so cool. You're not by yourself. It doesn't matter if you benefit financially. I know our team has taken some people in that same way, and it doesn't matter. We're all in this together. We all want to achieve, credibility with the company together, and I think that is just so unique. I've never seen anything like it.
No, and because we're still really pretty small, I know a lot of people go, well, I heard you have 60,000 distributors. Are you sure that's small? Well, compared to a company, like an Amway or a Mary Kay that has 3 to 4 million distributors, oh my goodness, we are just tapping the surface of what this company is going to do. And I just love that there's just so much space to grow. There's so much space for people to be successful. And that doesn't mean that it's all going to look the same for all of us. I love, Caity, that you and I feel like we're really both in the same place in the growth of our businesses in kind of the same time period, that 2-year time period. But you hear people who are at our level, and maybe they've been in 3 years, or maybe there's people who are at our level and they've been in 3 months. And it's just, our journey is our journey. We hear that all the time. It was quoted by Debbie Sassick, and it's just become kind of pinned as one of the great quotes of It Works. Your journey is your journey, and there's things that we get to learn about ourselves, we get to learn about other people, that just make this a full circle opportunity. And do you understand what I mean by that, Caity?
Oh, totally.
Totally. It's everything. It's not just about doing business. As a person, I have grown so much in the last 2 years, and my diamond income could not pay, or how do I want to say that?
No, I get it.
I could not pay enough money for what I am getting personally in the growth of my business, or in my personal life. My business is doing great. I love my business. I love the people I work with. I cannot believe what I've gotten to have personally because I chose to do this opportunity.
Oh, I totally agree, and I feel like you get into it, for the money or maybe for the skinniness or the free products, and it does turn into something more. So what do you think for you? I mean, I know exactly what my turning point was that changed that mindset for me, but what was it for you, honestly, that you kind of saw the bigger picture of It Works? Did I lose you?
Hey, Caity, can you say that one more time?
Yeah, what was your turning point? Because I know that, we all get into this for our own various reasons, and quickly we learn that this is a little bit more, and this is a real deal, and you look at kind of more the long term of your business. What do you think changed for you? Was it an event? Was it a specific time in your business that made you change your mindset?
I knew, personally, honestly, I think I knew from the day I signed up that this was a whole different adventure than we had ever been on, and that we would ever find. And even though I had been with other companies, as I looked at the compensation plan, I looked at the quality of the products, I looked at the background of who our CEO is and his wife, and having the opportunity to know them personally a little bit better, knowing that they were just solid Christian people, high integrity, and knowing where they came from. The high school I graduated from was the school where our CEO was a school teacher and basketball coach. So, I saw that. I spent time in their home before they ever did network marketing. So I knew the foundation of what this really was about, and there was no way these people could be messing around. You know what I mean?
Right.
This had to be the real deal. And that was probably the biggest thing, was when I saw the products and I saw a little bit of information, but when I sat down and I found out, this is the foundation of our company, my husband and I, we were just like, we've got to be all in with this. And when you first come off the, I almost feel like they're starting blocks. You get signed up and you're ready for that, the starting gun, or actually it's your kit coming in the mail, and you just want to have your launch party and all of that kind of thing. And I just remember feeling just oh my goodness, something amazing is going to happen to our family. And looking at my husband and being I don't think you're going to have to work for the next 20 years. I mean, here we are, 36, and I'm I don't think you're going to have to actually work till you're 65. And, like, that's just, like, the most incredible feeling to know if we just stick with this, we're going to be able to do amazing things, and the things that we dream of doing. Our biggest dream is to be able to just give and give and give and give and have it really be endless, or be as, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we just have this huge passion for missions overseas, specifically in Europe and Romania. Like, we just feel very drawn there, and we've just wanted to be able to give and give and give to people in those areas. But we're limited right now, and we're like, we're not just dreaming for, okay, we're a bigger house. Like, I'm content with a small house. I don't want to clean a bigger house, honestly. But I think it would be so amazing to be able to go to Romania and fill missionaries' cupboards with food and give them the things that they need so that they can then in turn give to other people. And, you know, like, and I never thought we would be able to do that. And I see it. Like, I actually see us doing it. And it's just so cool because I know it's going to happen.
Oh, I love that. And I think that's the biggest part. You know, a lot of us, I didn't have that luxury of knowing the CEO or knowing anyone. You know, when we started, my mom didn't even meet her sponsor. My mom is my sponsor, so luckily I know her very well. But she got her wrap flown in from Michigan. We didn't even have a launch party. We watched all of Cammy's YouTube videos because we didn't know what we were doing. We were like,
that's
oh, my
awesome.
goodness, we don't know. And Cammy, you know, is on the phone. If you have any questions, I'll be there. Just put me on speaker. I'll talk to people. And we were so scared. And I remember being like, oh, I don't know anything about anyone. And I think for me, my belief grew from event to event, and I know for sure I would not be here still if it wasn't for events, because I think I didn't really realize, and this is not a part of my story to share very often, but I didn't really realize what working in a job that was getting me nowhere really did for my spirit, because I was told, I'll never forget it, my boss sat me down, I was doing a review for the year, and she sat me down and she goes, well, your scores are all perfect 10s, but I had to them to a 7 because I can't pay you for perfect 10 performance. So you're just going to get the raise that everybody else got this year, even though you worked harder and you deserve more. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I remember going home and being so sad, and I thought, you know, this is it. I'm going to get a big promotion and a big bonus at my job. I'm so excited. I worked really hard for this. And I was told that I can't, and I was told that I couldn't take off work, and I was told that I needed to work on the weekends and miss out on my family parties and my family events, and I thought that that was normal. And I'll never forget one night, Dan and I have an opposite schedule with my fiance now, and I sat there in tears, and I said, Dan, is this how our life is going to be? You know, are we going to always be on opposite schedules, and I'm never going to see you, and we're never going to spend time together just to afford our house and our bills and everything? And I didn't think that there was any other way. You know, I really didn't think that there was any other way. And then I saw this working, and I met the owners, and I met the people at Green Carpet. I met the top leadership, and I met all these people that were making it work. And I saw that it could work. And I'm like, okay, so this is it. I'm here. I'm a lifer. I'm in forever. I don't care how long it takes. And I worked really, really hard. And my first year, we had missed conference, obviously. We got in in May, so we didn't go to conference. I remember I said to Cammie and Nathan, I want to go Diamond by conference. And I said to my mom, you know, I just want a comma in my paycheck this year. This was in probably September of the first year. And I worked really, really hard, and I pushed and I pushed and I pushed, and I worked harder, 10 times harder than I ever had. I was out talking to people I wanted to talk, and I didn't make it. And I remember feeling so upset. And I got to conference, and on the last day of that first conference I went, I got all these skills over the 3 days. I was so nervous about even paying for my ticket because we really honestly couldn't afford it at the time. And I was so scared, and I just thought, oh, no. And I hope this is worth it. The last day they announced that if you go Diamond within a few months span that you can get a $10,000 bonus. And I was right there because I had worked so hard to do that. And I remember they announced it, and I turned and with tears in my eyes, and I looked at my mom, and I said, Mom, this is why I didn't make Diamond. I'm so excited. This is my time, and I knew it. but it went to my heart. And I think that a lot of you guys, you know, if you're feeling like, I don't know about this, you have got to get to conference. I feel so passionate about it. Last year, you know, was my second one, and I brought a team of people with me that time, and I remember sitting back, and I didn't know why my mom cried so much the first conference I went to. I'm like, why is she sitting behind us and crying the whole time? I don't understand. And so the second year, I had a team of people with me, and I remember I sat behind them, and they're like, Caity, why are you crying so much?
And you're like, because I know what this is going to do.
And I'll never forget it. It's just, there's something about being in that room. It's magical. Don't you agree?
Oh, my goodness. Yes. When you know, my first conference was your first conference, which is, I think, incredible. So I this past year went to my second one, and I was really very close to the same place as you, Caity. I signed up in September, and we got to conference, and they made that announcement about the $10,000 bonus, and I was like, oh, I was almost an emerald at the time, and I was like, oh, my goodness. You know, and we were able to work towards that $10,000 bonus also, and then this past year I had some teammates go with me, and it was so fun to have them there, and what was really cool was they announced the location and the dates for our conference for this January. Just yesterday they announced that, and I had those girls, they messaged me yesterday and said, I got my ticket. They already got their ticket because they knew what it did for their business. One of them was a Ruby at conference. She is so close to Diamond now. You know, and you just, it's like, oh, man, if we could just get everybody on board to come and to understand just what this does, this boost, this belief that it gives you that I'm in the right place at the right time.
Totally. And you meet so many friends and so many people. And one of them, I love it. And the thing about conference that I love is it's the biggest event of the year, the biggest announcement, the biggest amount of people. So you get the most bang for your buck because you're meeting the most amount of people. It's so much fun. There's like a fun party that you get to go to, so you just go and get to mingle and like all the top
with everybody. It's exactly. It's not like it's just for the little people party and then the big people party. Like it's everybody's together, and it's like we're all one team, one mission.
Oh, it's amazing, and you just have to go. And the greatest part is if you get your ticket this year, before the year is over, and I remember my first year, it was a Christmas gift. I was like, Dan, we're not going to do Christmas this year. We're just going to go to a conference. And we're going to drive. We drove from New Jersey to Florida, and we stayed in, like, a really cheap hotel.
That's awesome.
And it was so much fun. I'm like, we roughed it, but it was fun. And we got our money back. Right after conference is when you do your taxes, so we got our money back because it's a business expense.
Exactly.
So, I just wanted to make sure, you know, if you have not registered for conference, you've got to. And you've got to get as many people with you as possible. And if you're not in the business yet, you have time to bring a team with you. Absolutely, you have time. So that's just my 2 cents.
and I really, really encourage people to take advantage of this early bird pricing. You can get your ticket for $179, and sometimes I would like to tell people, and that means you get gifts. Like you get, yes, your ticket gets you in the conference, but you get some amazing gifts with that $179. You know, so it's totally worth it. Just right there, like you're getting your money's back just in gifts. But for that $179, if you sign up or get your registration in before September 20th, you can get it at the early bird pricing of $179, and that can also be broken down in payments. So I really, really like that, but you don't have to figure out how to come up with all that money right now. They'll break that down into payments for you.
And then also those 3 boxes of wraps for $25.
Oh, yeah.
That's incredible.
Yes.
That is amazing. And you're going to
explain that a little bit more, Caity, just in case somebody's missed that.
Yeah, if you are registered for conference, and from what I understand, also once you make your final payment, as long as you get that early bird pricing, you get 3 wrap rewards. And we normally get wrap rewards for every 2 loyal customers we get, but the company is just going to give us 3 wrap rewards which is a box of 4 wraps for $25. So you're paying $25, and you're going to turn around and sell those 4 wraps at $25 or $30 a piece, and you're going to make 75% on that in just cash that you can just put away towards your trip for conference. And how much money is that? It's a couple $100.
Well, yeah, it's over $200. $250.
So you're actually going to make money to go to conference.
Yeah, so then it will help with your plane ticket or your hotel room. The biggest thing that people need to be disciplined about is use that wrap cash to build your business. Use that wrap cash to reinvest back into your business so that you're not going into debt. We're a debt-free company. It is established and designed for us to be able to build our business without ever going into debt, and that's because of that wrap cash. And you know, that's what got me going. When we joined the business, we bought the $99 kit, and then I went around my house and I sold stuff on eBay so I could get our large booster, which was $499 at the time. So I knew I needed those wraps to build my business.
Exactly. And I think, too, guys, another thing that's really great about these 3 boxes of wraps that you're going to get, use that to build the foundation. You know, you just heard from me and Catherine. We both were not just sitting and waiting for conference and waiting for the big announcement to start on the starting line. We were already taking off sprinting, and we were so much closer to the finish line. So don't you want that head start, you guys?
Absolutely. And who knows what they're going to announce this year, you know, because they just keep getting bigger and better. So work your business to the max between now and conference. And when they make those announcements, you're going to be so close to getting just an incredible bonus or something.
And, you know, I remember that starting line and that push. And if you get there, you're going to have so much more time than everybody else to get those done. And we have so many amazing opportunities to grow your business right now. I know with our group we have a really cool 30-day challenge. Each day you can grow your business, and you get a tip from the top from some leader in our group. And I am loving it. I have been stretching myself, doing all these crazy things I never thought I would do. And it's amazing. So if you don't really know how to get started and you're like, I need to get me in one of these groups, I need to do something, reach out to me and Catherine. Reach out to your offline. I'm sure we'll get you in.
We'll get you in a group. Yes.
So, okay, you heard all of what we have to say, but how about we talk about getting started with the business for those of you who are listening and you're like, I just want in, get me my kit.
I'm getting excited. I want to start over. Like, I'm excited right now.
We're like fireworks. We can't be together. All right, I'm going to talk a little bit about getting started. We have a really simple 3-step getting started process. It's $99. The promotional price, it's half off of what it normally is to get started. And who knows how long that's going to be for. But you get 4 wraps in your kit, which, again, you sell them for $25 or $35, and it's a risk-free investment. You're making that back right away. You're going to set yourself up. You're going to put yourself on a monthly auto ship, which is going to get you more wraps to put on people to build your business. And that's going to go through next month. That gets us commission qualified. That gets us bonus qualified. And because of that auto shipment, we don't have a minimum sales amount that we have to make each month, which I think is absolutely amazing. And you can will off your business to your children for years and generations to come, even after you're gone with that auto ship. So I think that's really cool. I know a lot of 9-to-5s, you can't will your paychecks to your family to continue to come for years and years to come. So that's step 1. Step 2, well, also you can boost your kit. If you feel like you're going to need more than 4 wraps, which you might, to get started in your first 30 days, you can also boost your kit. And depending on which booster you pick, you make about $300 to $500 extra in just cash, just for getting the wraps on people. And you get a bunch of sideline products to demonstrate and taste when you do your first party. So that's step 1. Step 2 is getting 4 loyal customers in your first 30 days. When you do that, you're going to get some wrap rewards that we talked about, those $25 boxes of wraps. You're also going to get 120 in free products, and most people turn that around and get more wraps for free. So that's how we make our money. Most people like to try the wraps before they buy them. So the more wraps you put on people, the higher you go. And
yes.
if you get 3 team members, 3 people that really could use the extra money, for me, I sat down and I had a list of people, and I didn't know what I was talking about, but I called them up and I just said, guys, we are going to change our lives here, and I need 5 people or 3 people to just get started with me. Will you come with me, please? And I didn't even know what I was talking about. I was just excited. So you can think of 3 people that are excited, that really need some extra money, but maybe want to try the product too. Call them up. Ask them, could you use an extra $100 a month? And if you do that in your first 60 days, the company gives you a $500 minimum income guarantee. And if you don't make that in just your commissions, not your wrap cash, if you don't make $500 in 60 days, they're so confident in the system that if you go and help people get their customers and everything, you get that all done in 60 days, which is really easy to do, you get a $500 income stamp. And if you don't, they make us a difference. How cool.
Amazing. Mm-hmm. I love it.
So, there's so many things that are going on in our company today. Today, they're going to pick 20 people, and they're just going to completely wipe out $20,000, up to $20,000 in their debt today. And they can afford
for each
to do
one.
That. Yeah.
Like, they don't have to share that. The 20 people don't have to share that.
No, it just goes right to their credit card debt or some medical bills or student loans. Can you imagine how many lives are going to be changed? Like, and the fact that we're not going into debt over this, everything that they do, they pay cash for.
Yes.
It's not going anywhere. This is rooted, really deeply rooted. And it's not a flash in the pan. It's not a fad. It's the real deal. Absolutely, 100%. And our products are whole food, nutrition, amazing for your body. It's not just one of those health crazes that will, come out later that it was bad for you. Like, they seriously take into account each and every ingredient in our product line. So if you're really thinking about this, let me tell you, this is the time, because the end of the year, we get really, really crazy, boom, busy again, because people are getting their kids back to school. They're getting, their schedules are freed up again. They might want to get together for muffins and mimosas and wraps and facials.
Well, who doesn't want to start making some money for Christmas?
Yeah, and making money for Christmas. I think it's only a few weeks. I think it's a little over 10 weeks till Christmas.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what your Christmas looks like this year, but wouldn't it be nice to pay cash this year and not have to be in debt from it?
Crazy. It's just amazing. It really is. I think our very first Christmas with it works. I'd only been in, it was September. We signed up, so in December, it was our first Christmas ever that we paid 100% cash for Christmas.
Wow.
It was, after only being in for, how many months is that, 4 months?
Yeah.
Just incredible.
It is. It really is. And honestly, there's so many opportunities to grow in this company. We have not hit the tipping point at all. We have not hit that part where we're a household name and everybody's heard of us. Absolutely not. I've been doing it 2 years in pretty much the same area, and people still have not heard of it here. And I know for you it's the same. And yeah. I just feel like, every single day we have the choice to get up, and we have the choice to get up and go out and share what we have our hands on. And every day that window of opportunity just gets a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller. So if you're thinking about doing this, just do it. Don't look back.
Don't think about it. Just do it.
Just do it, because you don't want to miss this opportunity. This is not just going to change your family's life, but it's going to absolutely change the legacy for generations and generations to come. So
yeah, this is an opportunity that people dream about not having come knock on their door. And we're knocking on your door right now, and we're just letting you know that we've got the magic ticket. You just got to accept it, and you got to be willing to get to work.
Absolutely. I'm so fired up. Do you have anything else you want to leave the people with before we close out the call?
No, I just want to definitely reassure people that if you heard Caity talking about that 30-day challenge that we're doing, and you're thinking, oh, man, I wish my team was doing that, or I was a part of something like that, just get in contact with us or your upline, like Caity said, and let's get connected into one of those so that you can be getting some daily tasks and be doing what you need to be doing to get your business really booming again before the end of the year.
Absolutely. And I just, I am so excited. I can't even, like I said, I feel like a kid on Christmas. I don't even know what's going to happen. But I know
you couldn't even sleep last night.
No. That's when you know it's good. So if you guys are all thinking, this is speaking to me, I need to do this, get back with the person who invited you on this call. They totally care about you. They would not be inviting you to listen to this if they didn't. And if you're already in the business, put your full force on that gas pedal and just go with it and see where you are come December, come January.
Love it. Good job, Caity.
And thank you. I'm so excited. I'll talk to you guys soon. Good luck.
Have a great weekend.
Yes. Enjoy. Happy Saturday. I'll talk to you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.